Hey, good morning. Well, I don't know if it's good morning for everyone, but hi everybody. Marisa Lindsay here. I am your introverted realtor in Colorado Springs.
What's up, everybody? My name is Dubs. I'm also an introvert, and today's a special day.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Okay, so let me tell you a little something. So I created Real Estate for Introverts back last August or something like that. And the entire reason behind me developing this group, it started out as a social media group on Facebook, is because I was getting so many messages from other agents asking me how I've been able to be successful through social media, and I was starting to miss messages. And to me, that's not good. I want to make sure that I'm, telling people how I've been successful, and I wanted to provide them that guidance, but it was becoming overwhelming with the amount of people that were messaging me. So I created a group, and what I was going to do is hey, if somebody messages me, I just say, go check out this group. And then I just provide everyone information on there at one time instead of sending out 20 individual messages a week. So I started that group in August. Lisa here, who's with us, she was one of the first, I would say, 100 members. I think that within a few weeks, she reached out to me and asked for some direct coaching. And I was like, sure, I've never done this before outside of the Springs, but we'll give it a shot. And that was in October. And now she's flown out from Dundalk, Maryland. Shout out to Dundalk. And to stay with me in my house for a week to shadow. And she has seriously been such a godsend for me, just as somebody who is trying to pour into people, because she's taken everything that I've taught and run with it. She is one of those people she just fully trusts and just goes. And so I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you on the podcast, because I cannot tell you guys hey, this is better than cold calling because blah, blah, blah. I've never done it. So I don't understand the difference. Lisa does. So we're just going to pick your brain and hear about your experience and everything else. Where do you want to start, Debs?
Well, let's go ahead, and if you can just give us a brief introduction, Marisa told us how you guys met, but tell us your background in real estate, when did you get in, that kind of stuff.
So I was in real estate probably about 10 years ago originally, and got out of it because I just thought I was ready to be in it at that time, and I wasn't. And fast forward to today, I've been an agent again for a year.
Okay.
And I want to say about 8 months of that year, I've been speaking with you now for about that long, I think. And that's my story on real estate and getting into it.
Gotcha. So, cool. Yeah. And so did you join a traditional brokerage before you got with Marisa? How did you find the group?
Yeah, I did. I joined a traditional brokerage, which is local to my area.
Sure.
And I'm very introverted, and as such, I've been told so many times that I need to get out of the industry because there's not a place for introverts in real estate at all. And I just knew that wasn't true. I didn't know what the way was, but just around that same time that I'm trying to figure it out, I saw Marisa plugging her group somewhere, and I just reached out to her and latched on to her. And I thought, there's this person that's going to be able to help me, and I need to do whatever I have to do to make this work. And that's when I reached out to Marisa, and it's been a story since then.
It has been a story. Y'all, she gets recognized in her town all the time now since she's created her own group. Yeah. We were just telling stories about it, and I really want her to share those stories, and we'll get to that in just a second. But what were you doing before you started your social media group? What did your lead generation look like? How were you finding your clients?
So I'm currently on a team, and my team lead's big way of doing that is cold calling. And I never thought I would see myself doing cold calling, but I did. It's part of the requirement of my team.
Okay.
And so, it's been an interesting ride. We keep track of the numbers of calls we make on a weekly basis. And I'm probably the one that has the lowest number on my team. And it doesn't bother me to say that because I know there's other ways of lead generating. But it's been very interesting, especially as an introvert, when you're reaching out to people that have no idea to expect your call at all. Oftentimes it is not well received.
Yeah.
And I can understand that because I don't like getting just random calls from people sales especially. We all know when we pick up the phone that that's a sales call that's happening. And so you deal with the repercussions of that.
Yep.
And sometimes you get cussed out, sometimes you're hung up on. You're really they're just so caught off guard and they're just not interested.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's just an older way of doing lead generation. There's so many other methods out there.
And so I've never done cold calling, but when I think about just having a list beside me of phone numbers and a phone, like I have to get through this, like I can feel myself start to sweat, start to think about, and just the energy to put into that. Like I don't mind rejection, that's fine, but it just feels like such a waste of my energy and my genuineness. Like I'm trying to really make a connection, and I know that list is going to be dead.
So the way that I feel about it is just the intrusive nature. And I know that I get cold called all the time. Like the big one right now is insurance agents, because I'm a real estate agent. They are trying to sell me insurance packages for health and all of that. And I have TRICARE. I don't need health insurance. And it's so bothersome. I get text messages, I get phone calls, and even the text messages annoy the heck out of me because I end up with all of these unread text messages on my phone, and it just gives me anxiety to see the number of unread. I don't delete right away. I don't know why. So it's bothersome for me. So why would I expect it to be a well-received method when I do it?
Well, it's just part of the business, you know. You got to do it. You got to put in the time. You got to make the dials.
You do not have to do this. You do not. And I feel like, okay, so I know that for me, because I'm an introvert, it's really important for me to expand my social footprints, right? You do have to expand your social footprint. You do have to find a way to connect with other people that are outside of your sphere, or else you're never going to do well in this business. And so I've used social media to do that, and it's worked very well. Like, look, Lisa would not be sitting here in my house if she did not join my group for real estate agents. And here I made a connection with somebody, right? And so how has that expanded your social footprint in your town?
It's expanded my social footprint by just under 1,000 people plus. Because not only the number of people in my group am I meeting, but I'm meeting people from outside my group, from those people in my group. And so it has expanded my experience in my community. As Marisa was saying earlier, I'm starting to get recognized in my area, almost like a small celebrity, which is really very strange. They're starting to recognize my husband, my children, and it's all just very surreal. But everyone is so kind, and they are the ones coming to me, which is a big deal if you're an introvert.
Right. That's exactly what you want, though. You want to create a situation where they're coming to you, and it's non-intrusive, and they know that she's a realtor. So if somebody needs a realtor, they're referring their friends to her because they know her through the group, which is amazing.
Right.
Well, how did the drive-through person refer to you?
Oh gosh, the drive-through person for my son?
Yeah.
So my son was going through a McDonald's drive-through, and this was so shocking to me. I didn't realize people were starting to recognize my adult children. And he went through the drive-through, and the person stopped him and said, "Hey, are you the son of that one girl? She does the social media stuff in the Dundalk group, you know?" And he was caught off guard, like, how do these people know this? Because my own kids, I don't think they were realizing my name was getting out there and I was becoming recognized. They certainly didn't recognize that they were becoming known as well. So and so it's spreading to my whole family.
Right, and in areas you don't even know about.
Right, exactly. As a matter of fact, I think I was about 2 hours away from my hometown and went to a restaurant to eat with my husband, and they recognized me there at that restaurant, which was really shocking.
Crazy.
It was crazy.
Crazy bananas.
And it's crazy because you're living in their minds. Like you are that lady that they see who does real estate in that group.
Right.
They may not even know your name, right? You're just, hey, that lady who does real estate in the Dundalk group. Let's call her.
No, and that's exactly where it starts, because what happens when people start to recognize somebody? If there's recognition, name recognition, face recognition, whatever it may be, that's trust. And that is the hardest thing to build with anybody. And the thing is that you can create a business in anything. I feel like this expands well outside of real estate too. This can all be applied to any business, whether you're in real estate, you have a shipping company, you are, I don't know, you sell flowers, whatever. Like if you have that name recognition, it goes so far.
Yeah.
And you don't have to, like, you can create a transaction business if you want. And I feel like that's what happens when you do those cold calls and things like that. That creates a transaction business. But if you want a long-standing business, this is how you do it. True. And it was crazy because who was it that reached out to me? Oh, somebody, I helped them buy a house in 2020, the Hefners. And we found them a great house in Briargate, which is just south of, it's the neighborhood just south of my community here. And we got them such a good price too. It was like $325, and that's a really good price here in the Springs. And got them their home back in 2020. And then I kept up with them for 2 years. Did a really good job, made sure I followed up. And then after I started training my agents and pulling away from those clients, I totally fell off the face of the map. Haven't talked to them since. Like it's been 2 years. She just reached out to me about selling their house. They're like, we're expecting orders. Looks like we're going to be leaving in January. Can you help us sell our house? But that conversation never would have happened if I had started as a transaction.
Yep.
And I really got to know her, her family, her 3 kids. And now because of that, because I invested so much time in that relationship at the beginning, it was able to last through 2 years of no contact. Yeah. I'm not saying to do that. Do not do that. Totally my fault. I really need to make sure I acquaint myself with my families that I helped back in 2020.
Yeah.
But it goes a long way.
It goes such a long way because if you're not building that relationship, then you're just a commodity. And it's like, I can find another real estate agent who will take a lower commission. Like you're replaceable when it's not relational.
That's right.
Ooh, that's good.
Say that again.
What did I say?
I don't know.
If it's not relational, you're replaceable. And it's just true. And that's, one of the things I love about this approach, and I'd love to hear how this has happened to you, because I haven't had my own group yet, but what I love is seeing people, kind of start their groups. Marisa helps cast this vision of how to find your voice. And then I just see people come alive and become like a more lit up version of themselves. Like they really have this opportunity. It's like, we're not asking you to go be Marisa. Right. And so what did that look like for you as you kind of found your way, found your voice, maybe some of your top hits that fit you?
Right. So the way that I went about it was simple. I was just myself, but more.
Okay.
And that was hard for me to do as an introvert, but someone did tell me, you need to just dive in there, put yourself out there and find your people, which is a big one that Marisa expresses. And that's what I did. So it was relatable because I'm in a small town and I'm from a small town, and in my town, they're drinkers and there's bars everywhere and just kind of some honky tonk stuff going on there.
I love it.
And I'm like, man, I'm in my place. These are my people. And so I just get on camera and I do my selfies, I do my videos, and people have learned they've come to know me, like me, and trust me. And so when they approach me, they are approaching me as though we already have this relationship.
Isn't it crazy?
It is crazy. It's like I've known them forever.
Wow.
And I've not known them at all at the same time. And so the way that I really got started was I just simply want to give to my community, and that's a natural thing for me. And I just did this thing one Halloween, last Halloween, which was when I met Marisa, and I buy the little alcohol minis, and I decorate them, and they're really very simple.
They're so cute.
They're very cute.
This idea, y'all, if you're not listening, pay attention right now. I saw this idea and I was like, I love this. Yeah. Like, this is so awesome.
Right. It's so fun too. And I keep the cost down. I mean, the minis are about $1 a piece, and I try to keep my decorating to another $1 a piece, and I make 100 of them at a time. So, and then I just go through the community during different holidays and special occasions, and I pass them out on Halloween. And I dress them up like little ghosts. They were just the cutest little things. And I think I advertised it in other local groups because at that time I didn't have my own group yet. And so it just blew up overnight. I could not believe the number of people over these alcohol minis. And then when I was out for Halloween with my husband, passing them out, people were looking for me. They had already known who I was in that instant. And they were coming to me to get these minis. So, and that's where it started. So now I just do these alcohol minis for all these special occasions. I create contests. And the way that they win them is by joining my group is one of the steps to win them. And so I've been able to build my group that way. Yep.
It's so
She's
crazy.
like the local bar.
I am the local bar. I'm a mobile local bar.
But like, you know, how many real estate agents say like, oh, just go to the bar, make a friend. We had a top producer in here in one of our masterminds. Very personable guy, liked him, very successful. And we were saying like, okay, where were your latest leads? Where do you go to get leads? He's like, I'll just go to a bar. And I was like, what? So you have now created the local bar.
The local bar.
You are the local watering hole.
And they go to
awesome.
her. They go to her.
That's so cool.
Yep.
That is so fun. And the thing is that does everybody in her town love this idea? Probably not. But the thing is that these are her people.
Exactly.
And that's why there's such a strong connection. And that's why when they go to talk to her, they are talking to her as though they've known her forever.
Yeah.
I experience this all the time. And I just think it's the coolest thing where people will reach out to me and just start talking as though we're in the middle of a conversation. Hey, Marissa, so yeah, the wife and I were talking and, you know, we're thinking about selling. And I'm like, back up, who are you? And so then I have to go back and look at their profile and figure out who they are. But it's because they already know, like, and trust. And that is the hardest thing to do in real estate. And Lisa has been able to do it since we started working together and she started training under me. Like, it's been 8 months?
It's been 8 months now, yeah.
8 months.
Yeah.
And she has gone from being somebody who is cold calling, probably feeling like this is a dead end. Like, what am I doing here? To like, this is fun. Like when I get up in the morning and I do my social media, I don't even see it as, it's not lead generating. It's building a community. I feel like we're community builders.
Yeah, absolutely. Community builders.
It brings people together.
It does.
And I love that feeling.
Yes. I'm definitely bringing my community together. I see that every day. They seek me out for the pictures that my iconic pictures I take with every one of them.
Yes!
They love it. Now they are, it used to be me going to them saying, oh, let's grab my selfie. Let's do the selfie. To now, Lisa, are we going to do our selfie? You know, so
that's
it's
so
wonderful.
freaking awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
I appreciate everything you've done to pour into me too.
Oh my gosh, of course. So Lisa, her group, can I say the name of it?
Please do.
It's Dundalk Friends, but at the end of Friends, it's a Z. And she has it looks like, you know, the show Friends. It looks like that. And so because she has this huge following of people, I'm like, you guys are like a part of a club. It is a club. I see it as a club.
Yes.
I'm like, you guys need to wear matching shirts. So she has created these amazing shirts. It's like Dundalk Friends. You have a friend in me. Is that it?
You have a friend in Dundalk on the back.
Oh, yes. You have a friend in Dundalk. And she's giving them away right now for when they hit 1,000 people. They're like right on the precipice. Or have you hit it already?
We haven't hit it. I'm at 994, I believe.
Come
Oh my
on,
God.
people. Go join. I don't care if you live in Dundalk. Go
Dundalk
join.
Friends.
Yes,
Get your
please.
shirts. So she has like all of that going on, and it's just, for me, there's so much energy there. It's so much fun. And I just like it's you can't do that cold calling. So sorry,
No,
you cannot
can't.
do that.
No, you can't establish a relationship cold calling. They're not even interested. They're closed-minded when they pick up that phone. They're just turned off and they're just not interested. They're thinking of a way to just hang up on you if that's not what they've done already.
Like as politely as possible.
Yes.
Like,
yes,
Yep.
absolutely.
versus, so I can just imagine, you know, sitting with a cold call list, and I dream of this day. So tell me if this is real. It's like versus logging on to my group, to my people. Like this just feels so much better. Like I can feel myself being drawn towards that versus like, pushing that away.
Well, it's so fun. Like Marissa said, when you're on social media every day anyways, and it doesn't feel like you're working or lead generating at all. You're just on there conversating or giving resources if people are looking for some things. And it's just so fun versus you have your cold call list in front of you and you're just sitting there.
Right.
And you're trying to get the courage up to make that first call or that 10th call. And you're just sitting there for minutes at a time. And I just loathe making my cold calls. Yes, for sure. For sure.
Yep. And think you guys are on social media anyway.
Yep.
We all know it. You might as well just be working instead. And that's just the way that I see it.
Sure. So before we let you go, okay, do you have, look at the introverts out there.
Okay.
Think of yourself,
Yep.
You had kind of dabbled in real estate.
Yep.
Now you were in it, but then you were you're introverted, you're having a cold call, you're on a team, you're trying to do all the right things.
Yep.
What would you tell yourself,
I wish I would have started this sooner.
Okay.
That's what I would have told myself, and I wish I would have found Marisa from the very beginning, and just dive in, maybe get into the Real Estate for Introverts group. There's some wonderful resources there, instruction on how to do what you need to do in the groups. Yeah.
Great.
164 followers. We see you. Yep. Thank you so much, Lisa. I will be back on here. I'll definitely do a podcast after Lisa leaves and let you guys know how it went and everything else. But I just so appreciate you coming out here.
Thank you. I appreciate
This is
you
so
having me.
freaking cool.
It is
It's so
very
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, make today great, everyone.
Bye.
See you.